I've always drawn. I'm a maker. As a little girl, if you asked me what I wanted to be, I wanted to be an artist. I don't think I realized the ramifications of that, but that's what I wanted to be. And so I've been focused on that in a sort of non-focused way. It is just what I am. I went to an art high school in New York called Art and Design, and we were taught advertising, we were taught fashion. So I learned how to do cut and paste, which is basically get your scissors and collage. And I used to make paper dolls as a little girl. And so cutting and color and paper were quite natural, and maybe that comes from having a textile background too. And I was not allowed to do that, and the art teachers didn't, one told me I was just crazy enough to possibly make it, which I figured was a compliment. I was never afraid to work with new media. And when I came here, I was involved with Brixton Art Gallery. Through them, I met people who were starting to set up this photocopy organization called Copy Art. You use the photocopier to teach people how to do flyers and posters, but also a lot of artists were doing work with using the photocopier. I was very keen on owning what I produced because there was a lot of discussion about the ownership of the body, also the ownership of images. So gender and race would come into it. I was incredibly lucky to have a photographic family resource that goes back to 1880, and why wouldn't I use it? My assumption was that everybody had these family photographs. Little did I know that I was incredibly lucky. I also felt it was important to represent people of color, not just working in the fields, because we did lots of other things and we dressed up. So to being able to use these images that I didn't have to appropriate, they were my family. We humans have a desire to collect. Sometimes we collect on purpose, sometimes it just sticks with us. The collections are markers. I have pieces and things that I don't know why it never left me. There's the identity that you have, and there's also the identity that is forced on you, and then there's the identity of society and how you negotiate your way through that. Growing up in the 50s and 60s, there's become a consciousness, especially in America, of race. So so already I'm aware of gender, and already I'm aware of race. So those become part of your perceived identity. Then there's your identity if you are a foreigner. I never thought of myself as an American until I came here, and people would attack me for American foreign policy, and like I had control of American foreign policy. Yes, I'm American, but my father was from Canada, my mother was from the Caribbean. I was born in the Bronx. What do you own and where do you own? I'm a New Yorker. I'm also a Londoner. Those identities mix very easily. Knowing who you are, but also being able to understand the fluidness of who you are is quite important. To be able to stand up for who you are. If you know where you've been, then you can go through where you're going. It's very hard to know that you're worthy in a society that doesn't reflect your worthiness. I don't even know if she would believe me when I would say that your work is going to be in national collections. I mean, why would I think that? As I wandered through the Metropolitan as a child, and I'd see, darker faces, and they would be maids and slaves and stuff, and I would marvel at the quality of the work, but these would be nameless women. And the fact that that my work is not a nameless woman is incredibly important. And it's big. It's very big because we haven't been. We have been a possession and an add-on. We haven't been the subject. And it's nice to be the subject of my story. I would like people who could make change actually make change. And that looking at diversity does not mean that you disregard who they are, but you acknowledge who I am.